Julian Edelman might be a Hall of Famer.
I get it. The dude did steroids. Whatever. Everyone did steroids. It's an era of the game.
Welcome to FN Studios. Here with Kody, Kevin, and Greg, this is the Dropout Sports.
Whoop-de-doo, guys. Welcome back to the Dropout Sports Show. I am Kody Everett. These are my two friends that just talk about sports with me, Kevin Redfield and Greg Wilson. Today we're going to be doing the Hall of Fame or the Hall of Lame, deciding on fringe Hall of Famers are going to get in or not. And I'm going to be the middleman of today's episode, and I'm going to be letting Greg and Kevin discuss the players that I've told them about and they have done research on, but they don't know what order it's going to be in. So let's see if they are prepared and ready to talk about these fringe Hall of Famers. So how you guys doing, though, first off, before we get going? How's your guys' week gone so far? How about you, Kev?
It's been really meh. That's all I got to say.
Okay. How about you, Greg?
Man, my mood kind of around this time of year depends on fantasy baseball, and week one went really well. I beat Kody here in a matchup for the ages, but I'm having a much worse week this week. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. We need to start a fantasy baseball podcast because I could go off about that. Anyways, we're going to get going. So I'm going to name the first player. And personally, I mean, this is how I feel about the player, right? Barry Bonds, I just want to get going and just say that this is a very obvious one. And I know that Greg has basically a book full of Barry Bonds stats and reasons why he deserves to get in because there it is. He's got it all right there. And he didn't do that for today. He just has it for his own.
It's from my Barry Bonds folder right here.
So no big deal, but I'm going to hand it off and just say, what do you guys think? Barry Bonds, Hall of Fame or Hall of Lame? Go ahead, Greg.
All right. So Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer. There's no reason he shouldn't be. I get it. The dude did steroids. Whatever. Everyone did steroids. It's an era of the game. It was the steroid era. Everyone did it. There's already people who use steroids in the Hall of Fame. Bud Selig let it happen, and he is in the Hall of Fame. Bud Selig, who let this era happen, is in the Hall of Fame, so there's no reason to not let the players who were in that era in the Hall of Fame. And listen, I know everyone knows Barry Bonds was great. I don't think people understand how great Barry Bonds was. I don't think people understand it. Listen to this. I got a couple stats here. In 2004, Barry Bonds had 373 at-bats, reached base safely 376 times. That's 3 more times reached base safely than at-bats he had in that 1 year. And he turned 40 that season. He was 40 years old. Barry Bonds, 162.4 career WAR. Pete Rose and Ken Griffey Jr. combined, two players that people would say are up there in the best of all time. 162.7. So those two players combined beat him out by only 0.3 WAR. Barry Bonds, from 1992 to 2007, had only one season of under 1,000 OPS baseball. It was in 2006, and his OPS was .9993, which is still absolutely phenomenal, and he was 42 that year. Man, I could keep going for so long, but I don't have much time. Greg, those are just a couple stats that,
he did steroids.
Yeah, Greg, I think you're missing the point.
I'm just kidding. You got 6 seconds. You got anything else?
I mean, there's just I don't even think this is a good argument for the whole steroids thing. Everyone was doing it. I'll say it again. Everyone was doing it at that point, and the commissioner let it happen. Let it happen. There's no reason to punish. Sorry, I'm going over my time. Last thing. There are already steroid users in the Hall of Fame. There's no reason to punish Barry Bonds because he was the best one out of the steroid users. And he was the best one by a lot. Okay. Best hitter of all time. I'll end it on that.
That's fine. That's fine. I had
got so much more in there. I wish I could.
We'll just let Greg we won't even show up. We'll just start the live, and me and Kevin will leave because we have a life, and we'll let Greg go on for 3 hours.
I like that.
But 3 hours is cutting it short, so we'll just let Greg go at it. But other than that, you agree, right, Kev?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Barry Bonds was great as two different players. Him on the Pirates, where speed demon getting 40, 50 stolen bases a year. And then with the Giants, where just hitting fat nukes everywhere.
Yeah, great hitter.
The guy was already hitting home runs when he was a little skinny dude in Pittsburgh too.
Exactly.
Yeah. So obviously, great hitter, great topic. Thank you, Greg. But I think the MLB portion of our Hall of Fame or Hall of Lame is over. There it is for you. Barry Bonds easily should be in the Hall of Fame. On to the next. I want to go right into the NBA, and the first player I have up for you guys is a very sad situation. If you're a sports fan and you have a heart, you feel for this guy. So Derrick Rose, guys. I'll let whoever wants to go first just start on that.
I'll start on that. Just as a guy who's watched Derrick Rose for the past 5 years, just on and off the Knicks.
What you got up there behind you?
What was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where is it?
Yeah.
There it is.
Those glory years too. Just he's such a special player. Even after the injuries, he's molded his game to be such a leader. And like honestly, if he can get one championship, he will be a surefire Hall of Famer. But I don't know. I can't give it to him right now. I know he'll probably get into the Hall of Fame, but he needs a ring. That's all I'll say.
I'll tell you what, as much as I hate to say it, I love Derrick Rose as much as the next guy. I know everyone does. As much as I hate to say it, I don't think he's there. I don't think we had enough years of great Derrick Rose to really make the argument that he should be a Hall of Famer. And I love seeing him play. I love seeing that he's still out there and he's playing like full healthy seasons almost now. So I'm glad to see that. Absolutely. And it sucked seeing him hurt because he was going to be so great. I just don't think we had enough of that peak Derrick Rose for me to really say that he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. That's
but
fine.
If he gets in, so be it. I mean, I would be very happy for him. 100%.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Derrick Rose, I think I'm gonna lean Greg's way here, for sure. Just more of his thought process on it. Derrick Rose was great, and injuries. I feel like this whole deciding if he's gonna be a Hall of Famer or not is based off of maybe just the emotional side of it all. That he did come back and he's been he has been a good player. Like and explosive, and when you see a player that fought so hard and emotionally was going through a lot, he came back and just performed well after all that. So I think it's sort of that type of thing. So other than that, who was the other player we had in mind as well for NBA? Do you guys remember?
Big man
Draymond Green.
Oh, that's right. I didn't remember his name because I'm not the biggest fan of him. Go Cavaliers! All right,
good one, Kody. You got him.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the man.
I know Draymond's watching this. I'll see. Go ahead. I'm gonna let Kevin go first.
Ooh, a little switch up. All right. So Draymond Green is an interesting situation. He was almost like a Ben Wallace situation where the stats don't necessarily dictate how good of a player he is. I mean, he's got 3 championships, 3 All-Stars. He's a great defender. He's one of the best playmakers out there, and that's hard to say for a 6'9" forward, But the fact of the matter is, he's in his declining years. He only had a 3 or 4 year span where he was truly amazing, and I don't. As much as there are guys like Vladdy Divac in the Hall of Fame that should not be there definitively, and like he might be one of those guys, unless Draymond can just up those stats a little more, and the Warriors can somehow get Clay back, get someone else, and get back to those dynasty years, I don't think he can be there. It's just outright. He doesn't have enough to his name. That's all it is.
For sure.
That's a Subway commercial.
That's actually a really good commercial. Hey. What is it? My sub has more rings than your sub or something like that?
Yeah.
My sub has bacon. All right. Go ahead, Greg.
You know what? I'm going to say yes. Draymond Green's a Hall of Famer. And listen, I hate it. I hate this one too. I hate it. Kody, I hate Draymond Green as much as you do. I'm a Cavs fan, and I hated watching him all those years playing against LeBron in the finals. It was awful. I hate the guy, but he's a great basketball player, and I can't really say much else about it. Like, if the Warriors without Steph, Clay, and KD, obviously they're not going to be a great team. But Draymond Green would still be good enough to I think he would lead a team like this to a playoffs. I think he's great enough defensively to do that. He runs the floor. He's a leader. And I just think, I don't know. I don't have much else to say.
Draymond
I hate to say it. I think he is. I think he's that good.
Draymond Green, I will say, was a big piece to their championship run.
Especially before KD was there.
Yeah. I mean, he was a great piece for them. I mean, he definitely got in some of the Cavs players' heads.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna lean no.
All I gotta say is the reason he's such a frustrating player and a lot of people hate him, I think, is because he's so good. And yeah, he does all this other stuff, the kicking and everything too, whatever. But the main reason people knew his name before that is because he is a great player.
All right.
I'm just speechless.
I don't have much to say about it. But it's fine. I could see it going either way. Like I said, these are fringe players. On
agrees with me.
Yeah. On to another topic of Hall of Fame or Hall of Lame. We have the NFL. And the NFL Hall of Fame is probably the worst, in my opinion. There's a lot of people that should be in the Hall of Fame, specifically for my favorite team behind me. The first player we are going to have Greg and Kevin talk about in the NFL is a player that just retired. Julian Edelman. Go.
All right. Julian Edelman might be a Hall of Famer. He is one of the most fringe players of all time, and here's why. It's true what everybody's saying. There are players ahead of him. I can name 5 right now. Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne, Hines Ward, Chad Ochocinco, insert 5th name here. But he was so dynamic in the playoffs. I am a man that I value winning so much. I think in order to be a Hall of Famer, you have to have at least 1 ring. You have to have a lot of good years.
At least 1 ring.
I think so, to be honest.
At least
unless you're transcendental like Allen Iverson.
But it's not like I'm sorry for interrupting, but it's not like football isn't something that you can just be as one player and take over. Especially at a different position than quarterback. And in how are you going to say, because there's so many Hall of Famers that don't have 1 Super Bowl, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but those rings, those playoff runs, they give us those memorable moments. I can vividly remember Reggie Wayne in the 2010 against New Orleans with insane catches. I can remember Hines Ward against the Arizona Cardinals just making plays. You remember those plays. That's why you remember those players. Julian Edelman will always remember him because of that catch against the Falcons, that impossible catch against the Falcons. I'm not saying he is the greatest player. This is like saying Wes Welker's a Hall of Famer, which he's not. But Julian Edelman, if these guys ahead of him can get in, he might have a chance.
I will let Greg talk.
Okay. Honestly, you're actually the first person I've seen that I've heard say that. So I was going to say that, no, I don't think he's even close to being a Hall of Famer, really. He's a great player for sure. Great player. Not taking, Hall of very good. Yeah, sure.
Hall of very good.
Hall of Famer, I don't think so. I just feel bad for the guy is all I'm going to say. I feel like everyone's seen all the stats on Twitter and everything. I just feel bad for the guy. The dude just retired and he's just immediately getting flamed by everyone on Twitter. That's it. And everyone's going in on him for days. No, most people agree. Pretty much everyone except for Kevin agrees. No, but I get the argument though, for sure. That catch against Atlanta, at that playoff moments like that, absolutely make someone's case a whole lot better. Because to show up in those moments in plays, games like that, the comeback, it really helps someone's case. So I can understand that.
Okay, well, I have a visual for you guys today. Here's Tom Brady. Here's Julian Edelman. Tom Brady carrying Julian Edelman to the Super Bowl. To all of his rings. Every single one of them. Julian Edelman is a great slot receiver. But I can tell you one thing right now. Chad Ochocinco, a player like that on the Patriots, replace Julian Edelman and put him on the Bengals. Take Chad Ochocinco and put him on the Patriots, and his numbers will double Julian Edelman's career numbers. Guaranteed. He is that much more talented, and his stats are still better than Julian Edelman's playing for the Bengals with quarterbacks like a torn ACL of Carson Palmer and God knows whoever else. Okay, but that was a good discussion. Do you guys have anything else on this subject?
I'll cut my losses.
Okay. Hall of Fame, Hall or Lame? I'm going to go Hall of Lame. Thank you very much. Next, our last individual for tonight. Philip, Too Many Babies Rivers.
Phillip Rivers, I'll say it right now, not a Hall of Famer for me. And here's why. I think he's got a lot of great stats. No Super Bowl. He doesn't have any of that. But he's got all the great stats. He's up there with some of the best. But I feel like that's because he played a long time. For me, he wasn't even like top. He wasn't even like top 5 of his generation in quarterbacks. You know, maybe even 6 or 7. I like he might even be lower than that.
5.
And for me, it's just like quarterback is getting so much better nowadays. I feel like in my personal opinion, that I might be completely off in that. I feel like there's so many more great quarterbacks in the game nowadays than there used to be. It's way more common.
Yeah.
And I just think you kind of have to change the way you think about a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's a Hall of Fame quarterback today is different than what a Hall of Fame quarterback would have been in like the 90s, early 2000s. I think you have to, it's kind of similar to like the Hall, like for the MLB Hall of Fame, you kind of got to start changing your idea of a Hall of Fame pitcher for the MLB because they're starting to pitch so many fewer innings. You know, they're fewer pitches. They're not pitching as much. So they're not going to accumulate those stats. Just like with Phillip Rivers, you're throwing the ball a whole lot more nowadays. So I feel like you're going to get a lot of people are going to reach those stats that a lot of Hall of Famers got in before because of those. So yeah. I don't know. I think you just got to change your idea of what a Hall of Fame quarterback is, and I don't think he is one.
In that draft that Phillip Rivers was in, there are 3 marquee quarterbacks: Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning, and Ben Roethlisberger. Let's go over the other 2. Eli Manning, on paper, he looks like a middling quarterback, right?
2 Super Bowls.
2 Super Bowls. Beat Tom Brady in both.
Yeah.
The Mario Manningham catch, amazing. David Tyree catch, amazing. He's got those memorable moments. Just like I was saying with Edelman, there are those memorable playoff moments that can bolster him over that. Ben Roethlisberger beat probably one of the greatest Cardinals teams of all time. And just that one throw to Santonio Holmes, legendary.
Yeah.
Like, and also beating the Seahawks in, I think, his 2nd year. Just that those are the type of accolades and those moments that can bring those guys up from middling to Hall of Fame. You look at Phillip Rivers. There were so many years he was 8-8, 9-7. He had a couple winning years, but they didn't really get that far in the playoffs. When someone says Phillip Rivers, I cannot remember a single moment. I can't remember a single greatest moment. I don't know. He's not a memorable player. I'm not going to give him a Hall of Fame vote. He'll probably get in, though. Let's be honest.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say I think he's going to get in because of longevity and the way. So this is how I see it. As a Bengals fan, we're a small market team. He played for the Chargers, and the Chargers did not do a lot for him at all. No. He got beat up. He got hit. He had to run for his life. And he played for a long time. And I think that's impressive of his own. And another thing that goes into being a Hall of Famer is being a good, just kind of a leader around the league, respected around the league type of thing. And there's a level of it. It's like good player. They take all of that into account. And I think the amount of respect that Phillip Rivers has around the league, not only when he started, but when he ended, especially now, is insane. Insane. Top up there at the top with Drew Brees and all them. So I think he deserves it just based off of 1, everything he went through and all his stats he had in San Diego, and 2, him still going at this age. And he actually had not a great season, not a good season, but he went to Indianapolis to challenge himself, and he did decent, right? He did decent, and he worked hard. So I don't know. I got a soft spot for old Phillip, and he had 9 kids while doing it. So. I'm gonna have to say that I think he deserves the Hall of Fame. But yeah, Phillip Rivers, he was great, and I think that's a good place for us to end tonight. You guys got any closing comments? You want to talk about any exciting things you got coming up?
I'm hoping that your JV team wins a game at some point, Kody. You haven't had that yet, but I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, we put the ball in play today, so that was good. But other than that, Kev, you got anything else?
Nah, just ditto to what Greg said. And I hope everybody's having a wonderful, tremendous weekend.
Oh, wait.
Even though it's Wednesday. You have to keep that in.
I'm off tonight, bro.
Kody, do you still have your paper from that you had in the recap show?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking. Download the TWS. Hold on. Hold on. There's a sticker on it. Oh no.
Oh,
You're gonna have to keep this in, Kev. Download the TWSN app. What's that down there?
That's probably, and that's Cody's confirmation code for something, or his PIN number.
My credit card. That is not my credit card number. Please.
Oh, thank God. I'm gonna have to blur that out.
No, but download the TWSN app. Thank you guys for coming and watching this. I think we got some big things going on. I'm working a lot. We're trying to get as many episodes out as we can, but maybe some live stuff because I know TWSN likes going live a lot. Greg's got some.
Guys, hopefully my Corbin Burns piece is out by now.
Yes.
Give that a read.
Yes.
Give that a read. I'm writing stuff now. I've got a couple pieces out. Read my Corbin Burns stuff.
Yeah, this would be Greg's third article, I believe, and go check out all of them. I mean, he is putting in the work, and they are really, really nice, like really, really nice. So go check them out, and nobody knows baseball better than Gerg. That's all I gotta say. But thank you for watching. I am Kody, that is Gerg, and that is Kev. Thank you.